I'm saying is this is a battle for third
Yeah,
place.
but you won't be first this year. With the way I'm seeing you train, you won't be first this year.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start today's video off recapping the battle for the Mr. Olympia that happened a little bit earlier this week, and my apologies for being slightly late covering this. If you guys have not seen this by now, it was Derek Lunsford, Nick Walker, and Samson Dauda, and they were all training under the guidance of Chris Cormier to build up some hype for this year's Mr. Olympia. And as you guys seen from the initial video, they definitely built up some hype. Derek Lunsford took his shirt off but immediately put it back on, and Nick Walker was like, once the shirt comes off, it stays off. And Derek just said these guys are basically fighting for third place. You know, he doesn't feel like he has to take his shirt off. I've seen a few people say that Derek disrespected them, but I think this is honestly great for the sport. Derek is one of the nicest guys you can meet. I don't think he meant that in any bad way, and to be fair, Nick and Samson have only placed as high as third at the Mr. Olympia. And you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. But overall, this is great. Again, if you haven't watched it, I will put the link in the description below. As a fan of the sport, I was just enjoying these guys go at it. And Samson Dauda was about to press 4 plates, I believe, on a chess machine, and the machine broke on him. But again, go watch this if you have not already. And speaking of the mutant Nick Walker, we actually have some recent updates from him, and the caption of this said, "Battle for third place." Again, I believe this is great for the sport. By Derek saying that, it's definitely going to motivate Nick Walker and Samson Dauda to place higher than third, and Derek also has to work harder to back that up. Nick is already in prep for this year's Olympia, and the condition starting prep is great for Nick Walker. I'm pretty sure he's going to be ready early and hopefully cruise into this year's Olympia. I was a little bit worried after Pittsburgh, but I think Nick is going to bring it this year. Now let's switch over to Hunter Labrada, who recently posted up an update. Hunter will be competing at the Italy Pro later this year, so not the one that Nathan Diasha is doing in about 2 or 3 weeks. Hunter is one of the guys I'm most excited to see at this year's Olympia. I'm pretty sure he's going to qualify fairly easily. No disrespect to anyone that decides to do this show, but Hunter is currently a top 6 Olympian and looking to move up. Remember, Hunter has been as high as 4th, whether we agree with that or not. Now in the next update of the day, recent updates from Akim Williams ahead of this weekend's Toronto Pro, and it's quite possible that Akim Williams will be qualified for the Mr. Olympia in just a few days. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have Akim winning the Toronto Pro. But Akim brought great looks to the Arnold Classic and Arnold Classic UK earlier this year, and he did not look this good going into those shows. So based off what I'm seeing here, it's possible we're going to see the best Akim we've seen this year at the Toronto Pro. Speaking of Toronto, we have recent updates from Quinton Eriya, Quint Beastwood. He is currently up 10 pounds from when he did the New York Pro, looking a lot better. Again, Quint is coaching himself, but Dorian Hamilton is probably helping him. And to be exact, the image on the left is 5 days out of the New York Pro, and the image on the right is 5 days out of the Toronto Pro. And taking a look at this real last spread, we can definitely see a huge difference as far as size, especially in the upper body. But I'm excited to see what this guy's going to bring to Toronto. I think a top 3 would be a win for Quint. Any higher would be incredible. Now, speaking of Toronto once again, we have a recent update from Hassan Mostafa. I'm pretty sure if you don't have Akim Williams winning the show, you probably have Hassan. But going into the Toronto Pro, I'm not really sure. If you look at the video on the left of Hassan training in the gym with Dorian, he looks like he's going to bring pretty good conditioning, but a lot of guys look great in the gym. The still shots and the videos we've been seeing of Hassan, his conditioning does not look like it is where it needs to be. Hassan looks like he still has more body fat to drop, but he could win this show if he's 100%. And also ahead of Toronto, we have a recent update from Jewett, who I think is somewhat of a wild card at this show. I think guys that were former 212 are always a wild card because I'm not really sure how John is going to stack up size-wise next to a guy like Akim Williams or Hassan Mostafa. Now, Akim and Hassan are definitely the front runners, but both of those guys have had a lot of times where they did not nail it 100%, and it's possible Toronto could be that. I'm not really sure for Akim, but possibly for Hassan. But basically what I'm saying is if Akim or Hassan are all for this show, we have opportunities for guys like Jewett or Quinton Eriya to just sweep in there and possibly take a win or a second place. Or do you guys think an off version of Akim or Hassan would still be top 2 at Toronto? Now switching over to Martin Fitzwater, who recently posted up an update 3 weeks post New York Pro, and outside of the top 5, Hunter and Martin are probably the 2 guys I'm looking forward to seeing the most at this year's Olympia. Martin just made a serious statement by taking second place to Nick Walker at the New York Pro, and it's crazy because Martin probably got more praise for placing second than Nick Walker did for placing first at this show. But Martin really just showed the world that he can stand with the best in the world. I'm not sure where I'm going to place him yet. It's too early, but I think he's going to be in the call out with Michael Krizo and Rafa Brandau. And let's switch over to James Hollingshead, who recently posted up an update. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm already liking the changes I'm seeing in his physique under the guidance of Boss of Outlaw or Stefan Kinzel. And credit to Stefan because this guy's pretty much bringing every guy in at his best. And whenever we see James compete, I hope he will be better. He said he's currently taking 10 weeks of rest, which just means he isn't pushing anything. And knowing James, he's still going to be pushing a crazy amount of weight. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from this guy. Now let's go ahead and wrap up today's video here with the archive of the day. You guys let me know in the comment section below, who is this legendary bodybuilder? And as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. And I was a little bit late reporting on the Mr. Olympia battle because I actually did a podcast with Project Bodybuilding and Mark's Max Muscle. I will link it here and in the description. I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy it. And we also gave our top 5 predictions for the Toronto Pro. If you have not done so already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's it. I'm out.